Hello everyone, today I decided to kick off the start of apple season by making an apple bundt cake. Today I was planning to take you apple picking, but because the air is so bad from all the California wildfires, I just decided to not go apple picking because honestly, the air outside is really unhealthy, so I'm just going to be using store-bought Granny Smith apples for this recipe. I'm super excited to make this cake because the recipe looks absolutely delicious. I got it from Sally's Baking Addiction, and I'll put the link in the description down below. For our recipe, we're going to need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon ground nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're also going to need 1 1/4 cups of vegetable oil, 1/2 cup of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, 1 1/4 cups of packed brown sugar, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 3 large eggs come to room temperature, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, and yes, we're going to need a whole tablespoon to flavor this cake. And finally, 3 medium Granny Smith apples. To start, we're going to whisk all of our dry ingredients together, like our flour, cinnamon, and baking soda. And we're just going to whisk this all together until it is thoroughly combined. Now we're going to combine all of our wet ingredients together, but first we're going to have to crack our eggs. Now we're going to add all of our wet ingredients to a large bowl, like our eggs, vanilla, oil, granulated sugar, brown sugar, and yogurt. And we're just going to whisk everything all together. I have been chopping up our Granny Smith apples, and I'm almost done now. I just finished chopping up our 3 apples, so now we're just going to go ahead and continue on with our recipe. Now we're just going to add our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients, and we're just going to whisk this all together. Our wet and dry ingredients are now combined together, and the way you can tell is because there's no large lumps remaining, and now we're just going to fold in our apples. Now we're just going to transfer our batter to a 12-cup bundt pan. I just filled up our bundt pan, and now I'm going to bake it in a 325-degree oven for 55 to 75 minutes, and once it reaches the 55-minute mark, I'm going to check it with the toothpick test, which is just inserting a toothpick, and then we'll know it's done when our toothpick comes out clean. I just took our cake out of the oven. I ended up cooking it for around 70 minutes, and now we're just going to let it cool on a wire rack. It's time to make our glaze. We're going to need 1/2 stick of butter, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 1/2 cup of sifted powdered sugar, and finally we need 1 cup of brown sugar. We're going to start by adding our butter, brown sugar, and heavy cream to our little saucepan, and we're just going to bring this to a boil. And while I'm bringing it to a boil, I'm just keeping our mixture on medium heat because we don't want to overboil it, and once it reaches boiling temperature, we're just going to let it boil on its own for 1 minute. Our mixture just came to a boil, and now we're just going to let it sit here and boil for 1 minute. Our mixture has been boiling for 1 minute, so I just turned it down to low, and now we're just going to carefully mix this up, and we're just going to let it simmer for 1 more minute. Now that our mixture simmered for a minute, we're just going to go ahead and add our powdered sugar, and we're just going to whisk this all in. Our glaze has been cooling for about 10 minutes or so, so now I'm going to go ahead and pour it carefully over our cake. I just finished putting the glaze all over our delicious cake, so now it's time to cut it, and I'm just going to cut myself a little slice now. Alright, it's time to try our apple bundt cake. I'm super excited to try it because as it was cooling, it just smells super amazing, so let's just go ahead and give this a taste. It just feels super soft. Wow, that cake is absolutely amazing. It's just like a bite of fall. I just love the cake. It is super fluffy and super moist. I was a little bit worried because when I took it out of the Bundt pan, it looked a little bit on the flat side, but it turns out it is still very fluffy and very moist, and I just love the big juicy chunks of the apple. It just adds a really nice apple flavor. I thought it might be a little bit tart because of the Granny Smith apples, but it was perfect because that glaze is really sweet, but it's super dangerous. It is so good. It is some of the best homemade caramel sauce I've ever had. That's what it reminds me of. Like she said in the recipe, it's just a brown sugar glaze, but it literally just tastes like amazing caramel sauce. Wow, that is an amazing cake. Gosh, if I had to rate this cake, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10 because it's that good. It is literally so delicious. I just love the contrast of the fresh apples with that glaze. Oh man, you definitely gotta try this out. I also have one more surprise for you. I have these. These are some Danish pastries that my friend Sadie got for me. My friend Sadie just went to Solvang today, which is just this little cute Danish town. It's kind of in between Northern California and Southern California. It's only about 20 minutes away from Pismo Beach. Some of you might know it, they have really great beaches there, but she just got some of these. These are some Danish pastries. I'm not really sure how you pronounce them though. They're almost like remind me of a donut hole, and I just heat them up in a toaster oven with a little bit of raspberry sauce. Anyways, let's give this a taste. I can't wait to try it. You know, I really enjoyed that. I just love the texture of this. The second you bite into it, it's really fluffy. And then as you continue to chew it, it's almost kind of dense too. It's almost a cross between like a bread and a donut and a pastry all combined. And I just love that. And what I also love is it tastes like they use salted butter. So it's a little bit salty. And I just think that goes really well with that super delicious raspberry sauce. Definitely enjoy these. And if you just happen to be in Solvang, definitely try these. They're very interesting and very delicious. Overall, I just had a really fun time making our apple Bundt cake. It was super fun to make and super delicious as well, and I'll have the link to that recipe in the description down below. And also, thank you again to my friend Sadie for these Danish pastries, because these were delicious as well. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.